So today is going to be a very interesting video. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna just jump into it because it's gonna be random. But those who are tapped in, and be able to see what I see, and yeah, I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just trying to discover me, helping discovering you. I thank you all for the new subscribers and the new interaction. I never kind of seen this side of YouTube for myself because I've been on YouTube for a while, but it's an interesting ride and a journey to or a position to even take. So this is just like a venting video, like kind of like shadow work. It's just an expressionist of what I've gone through spiritually and what I think about spirituality. So, what I had on my mind today is like the lessons that these gods and goddesses taught me, and what my ancestors also taught me behind closed doors and in front of the light. I wasn't sure if it was okay to come up on this particular platform because I was showing a lower vibrational of myself, and then I was also showing an intelligent side, like an AI version of me that, like, wanted to learn these things, observe these things, and wanted to come up here and teach. But it was like I was trying to find my own path to my own enlightenment. Remember when I posted on my community that enlightenment is never ending? It doesn't have an ending or a beginning. It shows you how you start is how you finish. So technically, it is an end and a beginning, but it is a side of you to show you that enlightenment is expansion. It doesn't have no arrows. It doesn't have no like direction. And you kind of it comes with time trying to get answers from them or just from yourself as in spirit. But oftentimes we ignore our spirit. Our spirit can really get angry. It starts to sabotage us completely when we are ignoring our own spirits. And some of these gods and goddesses feel the same way. They feel ignored. They feel forgotten. They cannot remember a time when they was forgotten because they don't know what forgotten feels like. They always know what to exist in. I remember the first time when I was about like an infant, not like well, I was about a wee baby. Okay, I was in the crib. Okay, I remember because like I knew my mother at the time, but that wasn't my mother. But I knew that there was another physical presence coming into my room, entering my room. This is along with the Hecate story of how I came across her, how I started working with the first deity outside of the Christianity gods, or God. But yeah, if you want to check out that story, it's in one of my live stories or one of my videos of something with Hecate. Just look, just go through my feed and you'll see something. My first time working with Hecate or something, and I explain how Hecate came to me as a child, and that was my first encounter of working with a deity. And I didn't know after all those years who and what she was, how I stumbled on her name. Same thing when I was working with Eros and Odin and Neptune and Poseidon and Loki. I work with multiples because I consider myself a multiple spirit, meaning I accept all things in life in all types of energy, whether it's good or bad. Um, but sometimes it can be a bit misleading when you try to take on this energy. It's it's not meant for everybody, and not everybody is meant to understand me at this moment of time or what I'm talking about, because only those who are tapped in get it. Whether spiritual is spiritual, spiritual comes within it comes within source. So when I learned from Odin actually taught me how to take back my power, or to take back what I desire. You know, you can kind of thank American Gods, because American Gods gave a good example of how Odin teaches to you. And when he told Shadow to think of snow, that's when I started to realize that's how you can do manifestation in real time. Thinking it at the exact same time and moment that you're in and you want something to happen. And every time me and Olin would go through these lessons that he would give me, these teaching, I would be telling him, like, don't you think what I'm doing, how I'm doing, is kind of evil? He was like, no, it's just my way. He said, your way is unique and different. It's nothing that anybody has ever seen. You want Some people want something to happen within 10 years and 10 years of that time, but when it comes to you, you want it to happen right then and there as you think of it. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. I kind of want it to happen as I think it. But he also showed me a darker version of me, that my peers makes me negative when they talk down on me. And my negative manifests more faster than my positive. And he says that I fear what my thoughts projects or creates. I told him, I mean, I don't try to fear myself, you know, I don't try to put myself in fear. I don't mean to. It's it's more of an opening for me to release that fear and turn that fear into something positive. So Bolden really taught me how to use my gift, use my personality, the way that he would do it if it was him in this position, you know. And then when Hecate came along, Hecate told me how to really control my gift, my anger, and how to use my voice. And then when Eros came into the picture, Eros came around, like, I want to say like 2012, maybe before then, because I remember always seeing a statue of him, and then I'll also see a statue of Hermes. I kind of work with the god Hermes a little bit. Um, he's a tough pill to swallow. and I also work with Jupiter. So I'm associated with Jupiter. Um, in in my Greek avatar, Aphrodite. I guess her father is Zeus or Jupiter for Venus, and Jupiter taught me how to stand up for myself and how to walk through life, how to walk through these challenges. So, and then Venus, she taught me how to love myself and be in my own beauty with my power and use my uh, beauty as purposes to get the things that I desire to. So it's it's kind of weird how I work with these individual energy, and I didn't know they had names at first. But I think when I was like 14 years old, I was always locked up in my room, just like studying mythology stuff. And I start to see some of these gods and goddesses play out in my peers too. Like, I start to see their ancestors' past lives, and then their ancestors show me what type of gods they had worshipped, and I'm like, I can never comprehend their names or come back with certain information once I tapped in. Every time when I was younger, like I want to say around 10 years old, or like maybe before, when I was tapped in into my powers a lot, I would be stuck there and can never report back information. I can never record. But when I got older, I want to say 17 years old, my memories start to haunt me. It wanted to be expressed because it started to notice a lot of people gone through the same thing, and out of nowhere, spirituality became popular, just out of fucking nowhere. And then you see people who are older than you, had more experience than you, and didn't have a platform or had social media at that time, or if they did, was trying to protest it, like passing out flyers and the whole hippie era movement. It was like, what the fuck? I was like, I used to get bullied about this shit all the time. Now it's fucking popular, which I'm glad it is, because why do we gotta look like a certain thing? Why do we gotta look mental just because it's spirituality is spiritual? It's not mental. I mean, it does come from a mental place, yes, but you don't have to have those harsh names on us. You're you're demonizing us. Is what I'm getting. But over time, you start to see how it plays out. But yeah, this was just like a short intro of how I got into my gifts. And but I'm when I come up here live, the sound quality is going to be different, but just turn up your device wherever you are, whatever device you're hearing me from. I'm trying to work on the quality, trying to get things back in order, back fixed. And yeah, this is just like a debut introduction of topics I'll be talking about. So yeah, subscribe and always stay bright.